We're back to discuss Zootopia, and if you saw our review, we really liked the movie. So talking about spoiler stuff, I could not get over the fact that they had well-developed characters, that there was a story that was interesting and that I could follow, that I was interested in as an adult. I wanted to know where the story went and how it progressed and all that sort of stuff. I couldn't, there was a part of me that was just like, at the end of every scene, I was like, and they didn't turn Jason Bateman into the best part of the movie. That was such a trap that this could have fallen into, where, they could have made it the goody-goody character and the funny, wisecracking sidekick character that steals the show, and they never did that. It was always
all about her
story. It was always her story, and that was really great.
I loved even the bit characters, like her neighbors. That conversation when she's doubting herself and the neighbors are just chiming in on the conversation was epic.
Yeah. Mr. Big.
Yeah. Mr. Big, the Godfather.
Yeah, they didn't do cameos for the sake of cameos. Everything felt connected to the story. It felt like it belonged in there. There were 2 directors listed and a co-director. I would imagine that they had, that each part of that had like a specific part of the job. They had people that were in charge of the story versus being just writers. So it really seemed like they had a very strong team of people behind the movie. I would imagine that there was a director that was just in charge of making sure the animation was perfect and that the scenes were really well done, and as opposed to somebody that was more in charge of character and story flow and pacing and those sorts of things.
Someone had to be in charge of the epic cuteness in every scene. I think maybe it's just because I just had a child, but I must have cried 3 times at just the adorableness of the, baby fox who wanted to grow up and be an elephant. That was epically adorable.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The little Rodentia or wherever they went to.
Oh, the little rodent city, yes.
Rodentia was great.
Well, that's the thing is, just watching outside of the cuteness of that, someone really paid attention to the architectural needs of the scalability of all the different animals, and what would a functional town look like to be able to transport, a giraffe versus a mouse in the same vehicle. And I thought that was really cool that they paid attention to those details and made it a city where they would all be able to survive and thrive in.
Yeah, they paid quite a bit of attention to the details, because usually with other anthropomorphic things, you just, they're together and everybody's just coping with the different sizes of things. But no, they all had their own section of town, which I thought was a little weird, but okay, let's go with it, that sort of thing.
But that played into the very prominent subject matter, which was in there, of race and stereotypes, and you are predisposed based on, maybe that's not how you are today, but your history and your biology says that this is how you should act. So, and
that's actually the one thing I'm a little disappointed in. I didn't like the slap in the face of racism coming in. I mean, I kind of, this is a way to introduce that topic to kids, but there was one point that, they're just hitting me in the face hard with this. At least it was short. At least they got it out of the way and we moved on.
I mean, it was kind of the point of the movie. It's not.
But I don't want that to be. I don't want the point of the movie to be, this is a fun movie. But, here's a cop and the fox and they're doing stuff.
But you just said that. You just had a fun movie that managed to not beat you over the head for the entire running time.
Right.
With its message, which was centrally about, this predator-prey.
No, I thought it was more about
dichotomy.
Remembering it is a movie for families and children.
I know.
So
right. I know I don't get what I want. I am not the target audience for this movie at all. But no, I got it.
Yeah, in that case, I think it was a very subtle way to open that conversation within that setting.
Yeah, it wasn't just another boys are bad kids movie.
Right.
Which, I mean, that's another, trap that it could have fallen into, and it just didn't. And even, I mean, the Lego movie is like a stock hero's journey. It's just this straight up hero's journey, but they elevate it so much with what they do with the storytelling and the visuals and all that kind of stuff. The visual storytelling of working with the scale of the different characters, like what you were talking about, that they actually incorporated visual comedy into it. They didn't just rely on the fact that the dialogue was funny. They had visual humor in the movie.
And so much of it was like a Where's Waldo of all these different things going on.
And that's so rare to find in any comedy anymore, let alone an animated comedy. Because animated comedies anymore tend to be the voice talent is there to make the adults laugh because they know who it is behind the character. And then it's all dialogue driven.
Oh, the nudist colony.
Oh,
That was hilarious, just to walk in and the horror on this bunny's face at seeing all these animals without their clothes on. And
Right.
oh, that was, I think, maybe the best moment of that entire movie for me.
Right.
I enjoyed the in jokes, the Godfather,
yeah.
the Breaking Bad.
Yes.
I thought that was great. The thing that I noticed at the very end, what you were talking about, Dale, in the credits, they put all the people that worked on the animation first, and then the actors, which is something you never see.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting.
No, and I think that's the philosophy of this movie. I think it really put its head on and said, this is about a story. This is about the message that we want to put forward. But it's about having a good time and doing the most that we can with what we have. And we're Disney. We can do whatever we want and we can have whatever we want. So why don't we make a really great movie instead of, just another...
Right. The animation was not a vehicle for the actors to,
no.
to deliver
And
a
it's
story.
not like... And you don't walk out of there going, I need to buy a bunch of Judy merchandise. Like...
No, but if
Yeah,
they make a
or
little
an
elephant outfit, like, I totally am buying that.
But you see what I mean? Like, it's not like Madagascar where, like, you walk out and it's like, oh, yeah.
I need a lemur. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that particular character
I didn't-
or whatever.
I
need
didn't feel
slots.
like something was being pushed as like Snoopy for the Peanuts, you
Right.
know, which
Because everything serves the story. Everything serves the movie and not... It's not an advertising campaign.
I really wish this movie would have been marketed more, but I'm also glad I kind of went in with no expectations and no idea what to.
Yeah, I
expect.
agree.
Well, man, you knew it was Disney.
But I think the less you know about movies like this, the better.
Yeah.
I'd agree. Yeah.
Like, I was really floored by it, and I was really floored by the Lego movie in a similar way, like I mentioned, and they were both movies I didn't know anything about. I just expected them both to be, okay, there's a couple of good jokes, and...
Well, and who would think that you can make, like, what felt like a 10-minute sloth joke that hysterical? Like, to focus on a sloth for that long was just... I think that alone shows the brilliance of the animation and the storyline and the writing behind it, because...
Yeah.
God, sloths aren't funny.
Right.
How do you know sloths might be hilarious?
Well, and the best part of that scene was the visual joke
Yes.
of him getting the joke.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
His
yeah.
reaction, where he's just, like, completely still, and then...
When he turned to tell it to his
Yeah.
coworker, I died. I
Yeah.
was just laughing so hard at that point.
Yeah, well, and they were dancing to Shakira at the end.
Yeah.
Very
slow
slowly.
Completely
Slow
still.
motion, yeah.
It was good. That's Zootopia. If you like what we do these, please like the video, subscribe, check out all the written and video reviews at dalemaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.